Let's check 1. Let's check 2. Let's check 3. My laser right, check 1. My laser right, check 2. My laser right, check 3. I'ma see through you. I'ma see through me. Trinity eyes. 1 and 2 and 3. Let me see my eyes. Let me see my lies. Be it feel so right. Let me swing my thighs. Hey, hey. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Yeah. My laser right, check 1. My laser right, check 2. My laser right, check 3. Let my word ride the beat. From my head to my feet. I ain't just gonna see you. I'ma see through you. Cause the first see me. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Yeah. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Yeah. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Yeah. I clear the fog of how my learned self wants me to see the world. I'll call back all the pieces of my heart I gave irresponsibly, all the sweet nectar of my sincerity. I'll call you back home. I command you. I need you to restore the way I see through my heart again. I vow to take my own advice. I'll open myself to legit perspective. I am offering the sacrifice, the part of me that wants to judge, blame, speculate, villainize, call out behavior. Who is fake and who is a hater? I'm willing to lose the me versus them for the higher us. Love, I am always living the experience that fits what I need to learn and unlearn. I do not have a trademark on truth. I know there's more to my own perspective. I won't flirt with my own self-righteousness. Triggers are my teachers, not my tormentors. I accept the truth that there's a difference between those who love me and those who have the skill sets to love me. I let go of managing people's perception of me, especially the people I'm close to. I'm so grateful for the soul connections that I didn't have to revamp. Thank God. I am aware of my ego and the stories it creates. I surround myself with others who do the same. I am the villain and the heroine. The verses is a violent lie. I lay this verse down in my soul. I lay the sacrifice of the separate self down. I won't be impressed by my individuality, but I melt and see myself in the us, in existence, nature. I prepare and open my mind for the next level of intuition to see myself, to check my lens. Let's check, let's check, let's check, yeah. Let's check, let's check, let's check, yeah. Let's check, let's check, let's check, yeah. My laser right, check 1. My laser right, check 2. My laser right, check 3. I'ma see through you. I'ma see through me. Trinity eyes. 1 and 2 and 3. Forgiveness is the path, and I surrender to the power of that path, dismantling my structures of my perceived knowing about a thing. I systematically know to lay aside any conclusions I have reached about others and their motivations for their actions. I know my instinct has been shaped to attribute negative intentions to the behaviors of others when they do something that hurts, but I know to bring that into the court of divine assessment. So let's check. I'll open this side of my heart to look at my judgments, evaluations, and catalog scenarios about others, myself, and the world. And with a willing mind, I relinquish the permission. I give to myself to entertain any thoughts, ideas, judgments, feelings.
I hear you, SP. I hear you.
I know and own the truth that is surgery.
Hey, everybody. Oh my goodness. We are back. We are back. We missed T, Molly Party, Keitha, Brown Eyes. Come on in, come on in. We're going to get started in a second. Okay, I'm going to try very hard. I do not like to mess names up. I'm just going to say death at the end. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. And so you can turn it up a little bit, so you know we get some people in here. Shout out to the lurkers. Hey. Happy Women's History Month. It's still our month, ladies. It's still our month. The best lady. You don't have to be on your best behavior in here. You know that. DJ OE, hello. Come on in. Yes, this track is fire. I love Tony Jones. I love it. Hey everyone. Hello. How's everybody doing? We are back. We're back. Look, OE, you're being called trouble. Well, we know you're trouble. Yeah, I saw you put together a trouble raid train for discussion. Ladies, I think we next. Sweet Tea, I think we're next. Hey, Deshauna, how are you, Queenie? Come on in. Oh, you don't cause us any trouble. I know I'm just, saying that just to be saying it.
I listened and I was supported to walk.
We're going to go ahead and get started.
My path of wealth.
First of all, how is everyone?
My path of health. My path of joy. I strive. I walk. I strive.
Oh, okay. So we coming on your birthday. Oh, goodness gracious. Wow.
When I heal myself, I
Trouble
heal
Board
the
Counseling
generations that
next
follow.
week.
I heal my understanding of being a woman. I heal my memories.
Thank you for following MLA. Hello, come on in. It is good to be back. I know we were on Legends a few days ago. This is the official stream back. And I am happy to be back with my team. I'm happy. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about corporate life and mental wholeness. Something that I spoke about last night on a panel about mental health in the workplace. There are a lot of people who are leaving their jobs because lack thereof of counseling services, or they do not know how to use EAP to help them. So we're going to, go into that tonight with our special guest, yours truly, Tay. She is a corporate tech, and she's mostly quiet, but she's opening up tonight, about corporate life and mental wholeness. So I also want to let you know that we have rebranded, and it is in my spirit to go ahead and say this. We are now Say It Out Loud. So, we are going to be discussing and talking about different issues, mental wellness, just well-being overall. Because after, talking and doing this platform for about a year and a half now, it's more than just dealing with just mental health on a focus. It's a variety of topics that we need to cover that will lead into you embracing your mind, body, and spirit. Being Sweet Tea, you're right. EAP is a great resource if your company provides it. However, I've seen where they just give you a card and say call. They don't go into details about it. A lot of people don't know what to do with EAP. They don't understand the resources that is connected to EAP. So we're going to, kind of go into that. And if you have any information, or either comments, to talk about EAP and what's available. I know there are, free sessions in there for mental health, financial assistance. But we're going to talk a lot about that. Hey, Lexi Boo. Hello, hello. Come on in. Come on in. So, without further ado, I am going to bring up our special guest, yours truly, Tay. Hello, hello. Mute. You're on mute.
Okay. Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
I can hear you now.
Hey, what's going on? I appreciate the invite. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am thankful that you, accepted the invitation. I know we have been talking about collaborating and you
Yeah.
being able to come on and tell your story and, talk about corporate life,
Yeah.
in mental wholeness. Hey, Leroy
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
There's no
Um,
smoke in here. There's no smoke in here, Leroy Brown. You,
yeah,
you got to do that on your own.
salute to everybody in the chat. I see everybody, DJ Monty Party, Lex Diamonds, Brown Eyes, Best Lady, DJ OE, everybody, much, I
Why I got
appreciate everybody coming on.
why I gotta be a big head, sis? Lord have mercy. See, this what happens when you come back.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
and
what happens when you come back on break.
shout out to all my friends that are checking in. I got my friends in here, so I appreciate the pull up for them too. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So, Tay, just share a brief bio with us.
Um, just like where I'm from and all that
Where
stuff.
you're from,
Okay.
what brings you to the platform.
Okay. Well, my name is Tay. I was born and raised in Queens, New York. 25. I'll be 26 next Wednesday. So my birthday, Team Aries.
A team Aries.
Yeah. I'm the only child. Um I am half black, half Korean. Well, not necessarily half. My mom's mom from South Korea. So I have Asian in me. What else? Oh, I've been doing graffiti since I was about 5. So I'm into graffiti. I like to read a lot. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm real quiet,
Yeah, we know. We know.
Yeah, I
We
support
know.
everybody that be on Twitch or whatever that I follow as much as I can. But I'll say hi, but I'm not really like a talker in the chat or whatever. But I do show love, when I can.
You do.
I'll be busy sometimes with my work schedule. But yeah, I mean, I'm cool. I went to Hampton University, studied kinesiology.
Okay.
So I'm an HBCU grad. I graduated 2020 spring. So I obviously did not use my degree at all. I wanted to be a doctor actually. And then it just changed, but we could get into that.
Absolutely. Dime
Yeah,
Dropper 5. Welcome
yeah,
in. Welcome in.
yeah. What else? My mom is from Brooklyn, my dad's from Baltimore, Maryland. Um, yeah, that's really it. I mean, nothing
So, what
else.
brought
Oh,
you to
I
Twitch?
love sneakers. I'm a sneaker girl, so I
What kind
love
of sneakers?
sneakers. Jordans, Air Maxes, all types. I mean, if it look fly, then it's cool with me. I'm cool with it. And I like fashion too. Like streetwear and thrifting and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. So, what
Yeah.
brought you to Twitch?
Um. Well, it was like 2021, I think. We were still kind of in a lockdown. Um,
Mhm.
my friend had told me about it, and I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "You don't know what Twitch is?" I was like, "No, I don't know." And he was like my coworker at the time, and I was just like, "No, I don't know what that is." I said, "Can you tell me what that is?" I said, "What is it? An app? A social media? Like, what do you do?" Well, he told me what it was, it took me some time to like really like, download it because I was hesitant. As any of my friends would tell you, like I'm not really like a big social media type of girl. So they was just like, he was just like, well, if you download it, you'll have entertainment. So I just was
Mhm.
like, okay, well, let me look into it. So I looked into it, and then after that, I started to follow a couple gamers just to kind of like figure it out because I didn't know
Mhm.
what I was doing. I said, "What are you doing here? You just follow people and just watch them do whatever they do?" And then when I realized it was a DJ side, the first DJ that I followed that I saw was DJ Young in Charge. So
Mhm.
um I started following him, and then after that, the second person that I followed was DJ Swirls. I am DJ Swirls, and then I found like other DJs after that, and I was like, oh okay. And anybody that know me, like I love listening to music. I've listened to music since I was a kid, and it's actually been like a dream of mine on the low to like kind of be a DJ one day, but I've always been
Oh,
scared.
well,
Yeah,
you right
always
here in the
been
DJ
15.
world, so
Yes, and I was like 15 or whatever. So when I found it, I just stayed on it, and then I realized like people would come on at certain times and certain days. So I was like, okay, well, I'll support them. And then I found out what subs mean and like biddies and stuff like that. So I was like, well, okay, I got a little money in my pocket. I could just, help and support. So yeah, and then I found out what raid trains meant. I was like, "What is that?" I was like, what do you do there?" So yeah, went from there, and I just stayed, and I love the platform.
well, we love you for being here, and you do support a lot of people. Shout out to Young in Charge,
Yeah,
and I am DJ
yeah,
Swirls. So I
yeah,
do
yeah.
appreciate
And
you
I
being
still
here.
support them.
Yeah,
Yeah, still support them to this day. Still subscribe. DJ Young Charge, he come on when he can and stuff like that. Still, support. I've been like, I think subbing for them for like 15, 16 months now. So yeah, for a while.
well,
Yeah.
welcome. So, what brought you to our stream to Team Dopeness? What brought you over?
DJ Molly Party. Shout out to DJ Molly Party. I
Shout
think Molly
out to Molly
Party, she
Party.
yeah, DJ Molly Party. I think uh I think she was streaming one day and I was on a chat and I was like, listening to the music she was playing, and you try to network and collab with everybody. So she told, everybody to follow you. And I was like, okay, let me follow her. And then when I realized like you was like a talk show podcast type of thing, and I was like, oh, okay, I was like, let me check her out. And I think it took like maybe 4 days for me to like really watch your stream. I think you streamed like that day after, but I couldn't catch it. I think I was doing something, and then like I think it was like a Sunday or something, and I was able to watch you, and I was like, oh, okay. So then I subbed, and then that was it. It was like, and then I wrote in the chat that DJ Molly Party sent me, and it was a connection from there, I guess you could
Yes, it
say.
has been. Yes,
Yeah.
it has been.
Yeah, yeah,
Shout out to you, Molly Party, for the
yeah. Shout out
connect
to
and the
Molly
support.
Party. Yeah,
Sure,
she's
she
an Aries.
told.
She's Team Aries too. So
Yeah,
shout out
she's
to
Team Aries too.
yeah,
It's our
yeah, yeah, yeah,
season. It's our
yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm
She's
gonna just
real
call you
sweet.
Dash. Welcome in, welcome
Oh
in,
yeah. Oh, that's one
DJ
of my
Tank.
friends.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I see your friends
yeah,
coming in.
yeah, yeah,
DJ
yeah,
Tank, welcome. Author Javonda, come on in, come
yeah.
on in. So we're gonna get into it again for Women's History Month.
Okay,
We're focusing on us.
okay.
So again, happy Women's History Month to
Yeah, for
all of
sure.
our queens, our ladies.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we're gonna jump into it. I did a little bit of research, and this is from Harvard Business Review, and it is dated 10/4/21.
Mhm.
And it says mental health challenges are now the norm among
Mhm.
employees across all organizational levels.
Yeah.
76% of respondents reported at least one mental health condition, up from 59% in 2019. So
Mhm.
that kind of shows you the pandemic played a big part in mental health
Yeah.
conditions in the workplace.
Right.
Um,
Right. Right. Right.
so, share what you have experienced in the workplace since the pandemic. How is
Mhm.
mental wholeness in the
Mhm.
workplace?
Well, I mean, when the pandemic started, it was a crazy time. I was in my last semester of school. Um, so I went from going to school on campus every day because I had lived off campus at the time. And I was trying to finish up school, and the pandemic happened. So it was a lot. I was battling 4 classes. I had an internship, and I was working a full-time job. So I was just doing a lot, and I was away from my family, and everything. So um, it was hard. It was really hard, and this is like also the start of my tech journey too. As my first company that I worked for was a really big company at the time. Um, and can I share where it was at? Or
Absolutely,
oh, okay.
absolutely.
So my first company was Apple. So started off at tech support. So during the time of the height of the pandemic and when the world shut down, it was just a mess, and I started off doing like IT support. And then I was just struggling with school. I was just trying to understand everything. And it was like 2 weeks before my birthday. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? It became real, real hard and depressing a little bit because
Mhm.
I had no graduation. My parents couldn't see me walk across stage. It was just a whole lot that I had to deal with. And I just didn't know what to do and how to maneuver, and being the only child, I think, you just kind of figure it out on your own without even really talking about it.
Right.
So, I mean, I just had to figure it out, because I couldn't really go see my parents, even though they was like 3 hours away. My parents live in Maryland now. So I couldn't really like jump in the car and see them because the world was shut down and you couldn't really go on the road. If you was stop on the road, you had to have a specific reason, like job and stuff like that. So I couldn't really see my parents. And it
Mhm.
just sucked because I couldn't see nobody, my family, my cousins that are like sisters to me, my friends didn't have no birthday. It was just a mess. And school and work, it was just hard. So I became depressed, I ain't gonna lie, it was hard, and it was supposed to be an exciting time because I'm finishing up school, about to, even though I'm not doing anything in my degree, I'm still having a tech career and still finishing an accomplishment that everybody cannot say they finish in life. And, being able to go to a HBCU and being able to, do things on campus and be active on campus and then have that all taken away because the world just shut down was just crazy. It was
Mhm.
like one of the craziest times of my life, honestly, you know, um, and this whole Zoom stuff, like talking to my parents through FaceTime and all, it was just hard. I was like, what is this? I was like, this is what it's going to be forever? Like, if so, I don't, I don't want no parts of
You don't
this.
want it. You don't
Right? I
want
don't
it.
want no parts of this because I'm young. I'm supposed to be, living life. Like, what is this? This is restricting me. I don't want this. I don't
So
want
how
this.
did you handle the depression from everything that was going
Um,
on?
well, that year, that summer after I graduated, I got into therapy. And I've been in therapy for going on 3 years. So that's a good thing. But
Yes.
journaling, really trying to understand. I had moments where I didn't want to do anything, not log on to class, not work or nothing. I had my days. I'm really close to my parents and my mom and stuff like that. So I would talk to her. and try to, have her and my friends and stuff. But it was hard. It was like I dealt with it, but then again, I didn't. With some days where I just was lazy and I just didn't want to do anything,
So,
and I felt defeated in a way. Yeah.
so how did this affect you in the corporate world?
Oh man. Oh, gee. I mean, in the corporate world, it was crazy because working for such a big company, in the world, it was a shift, that we experienced too. We had to go to remote type of work settings. And I didn't like that at first. I was like, work from home, like that's cool for like a day or two, but where's the interaction with my team?
Hmm.
So that in-person interaction, it was
Right.
gone. And I didn't like it. At first, I had to deal with it, right? I had to deal with it. Just like I had to deal with school being on Zoom. It sucked. I was like, what is this? This is not how life is supposed to be. Like, okay, we in the house, can't go nowhere, everything is sold out, tissue paper, all kinds of stuff was not even available in the world. It was just crazy. It
So
was
you
crazy.
had a hard time coping and
Yeah, it
adjusting
was
with what was
coping for
going on.
everything though. School, work, mental health, family, everything. It was just crazy. Like I was like, yo, what is this? Like you never heard of anything like that. We never thought we would see something like that, in a
Right.
million years. So the
Right.
fact that it was placed in the world, it was like, what is this? Like, and it made us realize, or it made me realize, like we take the simple things for granted, you know,
Absolutely. I
and
think I think that hit us, a lot of us, that
yeah,
we didn't know that our freedom, and I'm gonna say that would be, compromised. Um,
yeah,
because I was already used to being at home, but I can
mhm,
say the pandemic really isolated me. Um,
yeah, same,
the one, like I told them before, my team before, the only thing I kind of had an issue with is my nails and my hair, and
hmm,
get my toes done.
right,
And that was just like, wait a minute, I can't even get any hair. I can't get my hair done. I can't get my nails. It was just like the simplicity of it. It was just like ripped away. So you're right
yeah,
about, just, our
yeah,
freedom being compromised. But
yeah.
I'm gonna show a video about
Okay,
mental health of a working woman, and we're gonna
okay,
come back.
okay, cool.
A recent poll shows working mothers have been diagnosed with anxiety and or depression 42% more than the general population, their co-workers without kids, and even working fathers. Tonight, some coping skills you can implement right now to help.
The pink collar recession had more than 2 million women leaving the workforce during the pandemic to care for their kids. And while many have returned, there are lasting impacts. The Harris poll, commissioned by CVS Health 4 months ago, revealed 42% of working mothers have been diagnosed with anxiety or depression. 33% say their mental health declined in 2022. 40% don't feel their mental health will return to pre-pandemic days. And 72% don't feel supported at work.
Working mothers are really facing a challenge.
Dr. Elizabeth Arleo is a professor of radiology at Cornell University, a working mom and author of the book First Eat Your Frog. It offers 8 lessons or pearls for professional working mothers. She says feelings of guilt remain for what children went through during the pandemic or didn't get to experience in terms of milestones. Moms in general still need time to heal. She has strategies that working mothers can implement right now.
It's best to take care of the most important thing you need to do as early as possible in the day or week or whatever time period you're considering.
This is twofold. First, it sets you up for success because no matter what happens, you're taking care of the most important thing. And secondly, it lessens the mental load. Dr. Arleo's next tip is to think of time not as 24 hours in a day, but as a week equaling 168 hours. That way, even if you work 50 hours a week, sleep 56 hours a week, you've still got plenty of time for other things.
I think that it really lessens the pressure, because whereas you can't have it all or do it all within 24 hours, the fact of the matter is that there is time there for your priorities, for yourself, your family, your friends, and your community.
A third tip, she says, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. A reminder that nothing's perfect. Set your criteria for what you're looking to accomplish, and once you've met it, move on to the next task. Elizabeth's book has many more tips. It comes out on International Women's Day, which is March 8th, but you can pre-order it now on Amazon. Denise? A recent poll shows...
So we're going to stop right there. And who is it? Oh, who came? Michelle Love Songs. Hello, beautiful. Come on in. Come on in.
Hey, Shell,
Chad, what do you think about the hours that she's saying? Look at it into hours instead of, days and weeks. What do you think about that? Yes, Molly Party. Trying to find tissue paper was really hard, and Sweet Tea, yeah, it rocked us, really bad.
It's bad.
So what do you think about when she suggests doing it in hours, as far as breaking it down?
I mean, I guess it depends on the person. Everybody works differently. That doesn't seem bad for me, but sometimes I don't know. It might get tiring for me. I think it depends on the person and the type of jobs they do, or the type of obligations they have with kids, or being a wife or a husband or whatever, or taking care of their parents or their sister, loved one, whatever there is. So I think it just depends on your schedule, what your life is like, your day to day. Yeah, it just depends, because I could say yes, but one of my friends would be like, "Nah, that don't work."
No,
for
that
me.
doesn't work for
Yeah,
me.
like, oh, nah, that don't work for me.
You
I
have
need
to
it.
do what works for you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna read this. It says more employees are leaving their jobs for mental health reasons, including those caused by workplace factors like overwhelming and unsustainable work. While the 2019 rates of attrition were already surprisingly high, they've gone up even more since then. 68% of millennials 50 in 2019, and 81% of Gen Z, 75% in 2019, have left roles for mental health reasons, both voluntarily and involuntarily, compared with the 50% of respondents overall. So when you look at the workplace and hearing these statistics, what is your thought process when it comes to mental wholeness in the workplace? You can also share, your experience of, mental health in the workplace and what you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing that people are putting themselves first, right? Because suicidal is real, depression is real. All these things are very real, So I think when you put yourself first and really make sure that you are in check first, because at the end of the day, yes, we need money. Yes, we need a job to survive in order to make money. Of course, the pandemic showed us that. But you don't want to die over, not being okay, or you don't want to not be okay, for such a long time, just because you weighing yourself out at a job that really don't really care if you good or not, So I think, being in a corporate life and working for big companies, and even like the smaller companies I've had experience with, in my tech career so far, some are getting to the conversation of having those talks if you do need those days and making those accommodations. But it took forever for that. How many people have lost their life because of them being worn out or just not feeling like they should be here anymore, So it's hard. And thankfully I don't have no friends that has taken their lives, and I never have had any family, either any of my cousins or anything. I've had lost people that I've known, but not through mental health.
Right.
maybe getting
Okay.
shot or something tragic from back at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think in the corporate world, they're kind of getting to it, but it depends on the company you work for. Because
And
some
you're
do and
absolutely
some
right.
don't, and like I have friends that are in all different industries, and some of them tell me that their job don't care about it, and some tell me that they do. So I just think it depends, and it's hard. It's hard being young in this time right now. I think
Mm-hmm.
the social media is just it's a good thing but a bad thing at the same time. You know,
Absolutely. We were going to talk about
so
that as well.
yeah.
Um, let's
So I
see.
just think it just depends, honestly.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of crazy, and I've been experiencing I've been in situations where that didn't matter to them. It was just like, oh, okay, so you got this thing ready for Friday? Okay, cool. Yeah, make sure you get done. And then it's like,
Been there,
I
been
just
there.
told you that
Absolutely.
I just told you I'm not feeling today. What part you didn't get? The feeling or today? Like, what's the disconnection? And I've been in companies where it kind of mattered. I haven't been at a company where it fully mattered. Not yet, not yet. But I know there's some out there.
There are, I know, well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say I know at least one, for
Okay.
sure. But
Yeah, I
just
haven't
said at the
experienced it
end of
yet.
the day, they're gonna replace you. So put yourself
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Um, I'm
Yeah.
gonna share this bit of my situation.
Okay.
Um, I was working for a corporate retail business. Um, and at the time, my son needed different types of treatment. At times, he would have to go in the hospital. I would have to be there, you know. But being in management, of course, you know, um, business still goes on. I chose my son.
Right.
And unfortunately, when he passed away,
Hmm.
do you not know a week later, my boss called my mother to ask her when was I coming to work, and I had just laid my son to rest. So
Wow.
I truthfully understand. I'm literally still in not a good mental space. I just laid my 4-year old to rest a week prior, and yet he calls my mother to see when I'm coming back to work.
That's
You
crazy.
know,
Yeah.
so I truthfully understand,
Yeah.
the challenges when it comes to some companies that do not care. All they're
Nah.
looking for is the bottom line.
Hmm.
Okay. They don't care what you're going through
Yeah.
mentally,
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
or emotionally at times.
Hmm.
Like you said, some days when you come in, you're not mentally there.
Hmm.
Okay.
No.
And I do see that some companies are implementing mental health days,
Yeah. Yeah.
away from sick days,
Yeah.
where you can
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
in and say, hey, I need a mental health day. Because
Right.
how can you go in and be the best version of you if your
Mhm.
mental is not there?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Right.
But that situation, needless to say, my mother doesn't use profanity, but at that point in time, he got the whole Bible in a whole different way thrown
Yeah.
at him.
Hmm.
Um, and the thing about it is HR told him not to contact us, that she would be dealing with me personally and to take all the time that I needed. But
Wow.
he overstepped his bounds and called my mother anyway and got what he deserved.
So he
And
actually went against than what
against
he was supposed to do.
HR, correct. And
That's
like
crazy.
I said, my mother did say to you, how dare you? What
Right.
kind of human are you? My child just laid her 4-year old to rest. Why are
Yeah.
you asking when she's coming back to work? And it's,
Yeah.
it's been a week.
Right. Right.
And,
Right.
so I totally understand how it could be when it comes to mental health in the workplace, and,
Yeah.
how it can make you feel like you're worthless.
Yeah.
They don't care. Why am I
Yeah.
here? And then
Yeah.
it goes against, you even more when you feel like I have no other choice but to work here because I got to pay my bills.
Right. Right.
You know,
Right. Right.
I may not have a chance to quit this job, and wait to find something else. So I got to literally deal with, you know, no compassion, no anything, and try to go back to work,
Yeah.
to deal with this. But
Right.
with me, it was just like, you can have it. And that's just how
Right.
I felt, because I had to take care of my mental first,
Right. Right. Right.
you
Right.
know?
Right.
Um, so sometimes it's just like Zed said, you got to put yourself first.
Oh yeah.
It,
Yeah.
to me, when you have the support, that you need, and sometimes you have to make those hard decisions to step out on faith, because
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
if you're not
Hmm.
here, they're going to replace you.
Yeah.
You may get a card, your family
Yeah.
may, get some flowers,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you know
Keyword, but keyword is May.
may,
You know,
exactly.
keyword is
Keep,
May. You
that's why I said that.
don't even
May.
know. Don't
May.
even know for real. You know,
So
because
this is why we need to continue this dialogue and continue to fight to make these
yeah.
changes,
Yeah.
because we're humans. We
Right.
are humans with emotion. We
Right.
are humans with a mental health.
Yeah.
We're humans with emotional health.
Right.
We're humans with spiritual health.
Right.
Okay, so when it comes down to these companies and the percentages that I'm looking at right now, to where
Hmm.
people are literally leaving their job to save their mental health.
Yeah.
Okay, we're even talking about doctors, nurses. I mean,
Hmm.
all professions.
Right.
They're leaving their job to save their mental health. Now, what
Yeah.
about when a person does have mental health issues? They go to their manager to say, "Hey, I'm having issues. I'm having a breakdown. I need some help." And they just hand them the EAP card, not
Yep.
trying to explain it to them.
Yep.
What is EAP? How can I
Yep.
get these services?
Yep.
You know, you're just giving me a card and say, dial this number.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Or you're giving me a pamphlet. I may not
Mhm.
be in the mindset to be able to read this.
Right.
Just, help me out here.
Right.
But then when they come back, or they force them to come to work, knowing that they're having mental challenges, it's been recorded that they've had mental challenges, but they still continue to make them come to work. Then next thing you know, they're coming in, shooting up everybody
Yeah.
and killing
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Or they revert to the drugs,
or
coming
revert
high
to
or
drugs and
can't
alcohol,
perform.
because
Yeah.
they can't, it's the coping of it.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
again, like I said, some people feel like, I'm stuck at this job. I have no way out because I have to pay my bills. So now they're using negative coping mechanisms
Right.
to
Right.
get through,
Right. Right. Right.
because
Yeah.
they don't have the resources.
Right.
The
Right.
jobs are not providing the right resources.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And
So where are
my
you?
condolences to you for sure,
Oh,
because
thank you.
I went through that, with my grandfather passed. My grandfather passed in 2021, around like 3 days before Christmas. And never lost anybody in my life, so this is like the first person that like has ever passed away from me, and that I
Mhm.
was like close with, because till to this day I still have both my grandmothers, thank God, so um it was hard. It was hard.
No, it
And that was
was.
my
I
mom's father.
condolences to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, thank you. But it was a hard time, and some of my friends could even tell you, like, I didn't even want to talk. I didn't want to do nothing.
Right.
Like, I was just like, what is this? Like, what do I do? And how do I
How do
move
you cope?
forward?
How do you cope
Yeah.
with it?
And since then, Christmas hasn't been the same. I don't even get excited for Christmas because it's like 3 days before
I
Christmas.
hear you.
And
I
I'm
hear
like,
you.
I don't want that. And it's crazy because it's hard for my mom. She's born on his birthday, so they have the same birthday. So it's hard
Mhm.
for her, and it's been hard for her, since he's passed. And this year it's a monumental type of birthday for, because she'll be 50. So it's like I want to celebrate
Mhm.
myself, but I don't want to keep being sad because my dad is not here, even though it's his birthday too, because that was a rough time for both of us. You know, I learned about family drama and how money is just such a big thing to people, when just greed and all that. I was just like,
Mhm.
why? For what?
And it adds to the stress of what you're dealing with in your
Yeah,
daily life,
yeah,
in your workplace. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
sometimes we sometimes we wake up just not feeling it. And
yeah,
when you go through your work day, it just seems like it just
yeah,
compiles on it. Like you
mm-hmm,
said,
mm-hmm,
okay, when is this project going to be done? This
yeah,
deadline is here.
mm-hmm,
We need this. We need
yep,
that.
mm-hmm,
It's like you're being slung
yeah,
all around, and
yeah,
your mental is not there. So
yeah,
you start shutting down, or you
yeah.
start becoming angry.
Yeah,
You
and
start becoming
during that time, I only had like 3 days that my job only gave me, and I was just like, I have to go to Atlanta. I have to bury my grandfather. I cannot come back. You know, there's
mhm,
just no way that 3 days is going to be okay for me. I'm sorry, and
right.
it's a holiday. Have a little empathy for your girl right here. You
Yeah,
know, like, this is not going to work. You know, give me at least a week. 3 days. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, what?
yeah.
You know. So I had to
Like Dad
fight for
said,
that.
like
Had to
Dad
fight
said,
for that.
we're not robots. We're not
Yeah.
robots. But in the corporate world, that it's like,
Yeah.
always this, that, and the other, and they want
Mhm.
you to do what they want you to do,
Yeah.
not what's best for you at that
Yeah.
moment in time.
And if it ain't
Um,
their way, they don't like it. They don't like
exactly,
it. They don't like it. They
exactly.
ain't trying to hear none of that. They're like, man,
That
okay.
Tank
So
has a
you
good thing. He
figure
said
this
they
out.
pretend to be empathetic and slap it right in your file. And you're
Oh yeah.
absolutely right, Tank.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely right.
Oh
They
yeah.
will do that. Slap it
Oh
right
yeah.
into your file, acting like they're empathetic. Yes, he was fired. Des. He
Mm.
was fired.
Oh, that's
Um,
one of my friends. He's so
DJ
active in the
Tank,
chat.
few companies they live by the law of the dollar until someone snaps. That part right there.
Mhm.
Miss Sweet Tea
Yeah.
says companies have to do better about leading the empathy. You're right, but where does that start? Where does it start? With the compassion, the empathy of understanding where we are in today's society with the pandemic. A lot of people have committed suicide,
Yeah.
in the workplace, or come in the workplace taking everybody out along with themselves because of mental challenges.
Yeah.
Hey, friend. Hello. Thank you for the alert.
Yeah.
Um,
For sure.
it's just very difficult,
Yeah.
trying to maneuver so many different aspects. And the one thing that you said, women in the workplace, we are moms.
Hmm.
Whether you're single or not, you're a mom to somebody. It
Yep.
doesn't have to be by DNA.
Yep.
We are wives.
Yep. Mhm.
We have careers.
Yep.
We still go through things,
Yep. Yep.
so the balance, we have, like I said, we have a cross, a heavy cross, and this is
Mhm.
where your support system comes in. Pick up the back, pick up the side, and help you carry the front. But if you don't have a
Yep.
support system, then what do you do? And this is where the
Yep.
resources come in. But I
Mhm.
feel like some companies have lack thereof for their employees.
Yeah.
Some can't even get an employee appreciation day. Some can't don't get, the employer of the month to make them feel like they're worthy of
Mhm.
being there.
Yep.
And then not only in the workplace, sometimes you bring it home.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
next thing you know, you're snapping on your kids,
Mhm.
you just angry. And it's
Yep.
only because of what is going on in your workplace.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And one thing being in management that contributes to a situation that can affect your mental health in the workplace is drama.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna say
Yeah.
that you're gonna find drama somewhere in the workplace,
Everywhere you
okay, or
go.
it's gonna find you.
Yeah. Everywhere you go.
But
Everywhere
when
you
you
go.
have management that doesn't, you know, um, take care of the drama, or act on it or investigate it and it just continues, then it's a hostile work environment. And how do
Mm-hmm.
you feel that affects your mental health in the workplace?
Man, it's kind of crazy for me because I'm so to myself, so like when drama happens, I don't even put myself in it. But of course you'll hear it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, why does this matter? Like this has nothing to do with what's going on. Or if you have an issue, why don't you talk to the said person? Like what's the issue? Like we all adults here, we can communicate. At least I last time I thought we could, so like what is the issue?
Right.
And I think for me it's just be like, why y'all have an issue with that if that can be solved in 2.5 seconds with the
Correct.
conversation,
Some,
so
some people do not know how to execute that conversation
yeah,
to make sure that it gets resolved. They
yeah,
harbor, and again,
yeah, yeah,
depending on what they're going through on their
yeah,
outside, they
yeah,
bring it on the inside. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
so
it's
and it
crazy.
magnifies
Yeah,
10,000, something
yeah,
that's very small. So
yeah,
we're looking at different factors today that can affect your mental wholeness in the workplace.
yeah,
And definitely corporate life when it's fast paced,
man, it's crazy.
corporate, you have really no time to even think about over here because you're trying to meet deadlines. You're getting 5,000 emails a day. By the time you
Hmm.
log in, you probably have 100 emails you need to check.
Yeah,
So dealing with the drama, that just elevates it. Molly
yeah,
Party, you're right. Yeah, I have to agree with you. Managers will
yeah,
perpetuate the drama. They will
yeah,
do that when they're
yeah,
there to resolve and prevent the drama. And
yeah,
this is
yeah,
why they look at you know retention rates going
mhm,
just out the roof.
yeah, 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 yeah. And
So
crazy thing is too,
Tank says,
a
I've
lot of
heard
people don't understand separation too. You know,
separation.
yeah,
Yes,
they don't understand that.
some people want to be a part of it, but not understanding
Hmm.
how callous it could be.
Yeah,
We're not in this society to play with people mental health. We're not
yeah,
in this society to just throw a rug over mental health.
yeah,
Okay, as we have seen over the past, and this has been going on for a very long time. I
mm,
even sometimes go and look up how many mass shootings have taken place
mm,
in the United States. Shootings, that we don't even know about,
wow,
dealing
wow,
with mental health issues. Now, some
man,
are not, some are just callous, and I'm putting it out there. Some are not mental health issues, they're just callous. But
exactly.
when you break it down, most of the workplace is dealing with something that they were going through at work. So people need to really, really be careful about what they say about someone, and it gets back to them. Tank, I see you. You said, I've heard some of the worst things said about women in meetings. I always speak up and defend, but it's exhausting and honestly pathetic. Now,
Okay.
this is in a workplace. And women, we already have to fight for our rights. I said that on
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah,
We already have to fight for our rights, ladies.
yeah,
So, imagine being in the workplace, having to fight for your rights every day. You're exhausted. You just mentally just checking out.
yep, yep,
We carry a heavy load, ladies.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
Dills.
yeah.
Hey, how are you? Come on in. Come on
I think
in.
I think one of my friends had something that she wanted us to talk about. Um,
Okay.
so I think she said, could you all potentially talk about how drama may arise based on stereotypes of Black women when in reality we're communicating as our authentic selves? It sometimes feel like we're portrayed as angry just for speaking
Ooh.
up.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Yes, we
it
can.
becomes a bigger issue than it needs to be. So yeah, that's actually
Absolutely.
like
We're
that's
definitely.
who said
We
that?
definitely
Who
going to
said
talk
that is
about that. Hey,
yeah,
RL Breezy, come
who
on in. Come
who
on in.
said that is like one of my best friends from college. So yeah, shout out to Kiera. I appreciate it.
So, what we're going to say about that, I completely agree with what she
Well,
has
you go first. I want to hear
as
what
the
you say first.
question.
Yeah. Go
Um,
ahead. You
us
yeah, you
as
speak on it.
us as Black women,
Mm-hmm.
and I am not saying this at all. I'm just speaking on the
Okay.
question that is being asked.
Mm-hmm.
We go through harassment.
Yep.
If you're an educated
Mm-hmm.
woman,
Yep.
they still find a loophole in the workplace to
Yep.
set you down here
Mm-hmm.
when you deserve to be here.
Yep.
Most of the times, they find a way to get rid of you because you are educated and you know your job, but they make it harder to
Yep.
where you may get this project and the deadline is in a week, where someone else gets the same project and theirs is 2 to 3 weeks. And it's pressure. And this is why I say we do have
Yeah.
to fight for our rights in everything that we do, we accomplish. When it
Mm.
comes to going through school,
Yeah.
we have to fight
Right. Right.
to get to the top of our class.
Right.
You're right,
Right.
Miss Sweet Tea. They say they see you as a threat to their insecurities. And this
Yeah.
is why my mother always taught me, and my grandmother taught me when I was younger, you walk in a room like you own it.
Yeah.
And some
Yeah.
people get very, very intimidated by that
Right.
because your
Right.
voice is strong. You're going and claiming what you want. You're popping out the answers to their questions just like that. But
Mm-hmm.
yet they will still find a loophole in there to say, okay, we're looking at someone else, or we're still interviewing candidates. And you
Yeah.
know that, hey,
Yeah.
I am well qualified for this. And
Yeah.
the next thing you know, you're getting a rejection letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for me, it's hard. It's hard all around, and it's hard for a few reasons. Being in tech, being a software engineer, and navigating through all this stuff that you have to go through, and for certain companies, you got to go through 3 rounds. You got to code, and so you got to do a whole bunch of stuff just to prove yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
then being black, being a woman in a male dominated industry is
Industry.
really
Mm-hmm.
crazy. It's like when you are proving that you can do the work, it's like, are you sure you can do this? Are you
Mm-hmm.
positive? Are you
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with this? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. You're gonna be around 10 other people on your team. Is that okay for you? Like, what? Like, I'm not dumb. Obviously, I just proved to you that I can do this. What is the situation here? So I think, the stereotypes is just crazy. And the fact that it's like a young person like me that's in tech and that's black and a woman is, you gotta prove yourself 10 times harder. I tell all my friends, I'd be like, you know, being in tech is cool, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to navigate, and you have to prove yourself 10 times more. And I mean,
So, as a black woman in a male dominated industry, how
mhm.
do you navigate?
um of course, studying the material is always going to be number one, to make sure you know what you're doing and what you're talking about. And also just navigating through by networking, because there's a thing called LinkedIn. You have, different groups on there that are just for black women in the industry, like with black women that code. Then you have like mentor groups and stuff like that, or it's just a lot of different collabs that you can do on LinkedIn to help, to get help from others and advice and stuff like that. So you can navigate through that. There's different conferences all year round. You have Afro Tech, Black Tech, Blackest Tech conference and stuff like that. Um, so, I think when I met my job, it's just like, I'm usually the only girl and I'm usually the only black person on my team.
Mm.
And I'm only saying that because I have to do too much to always feel like I am needed to
You
be
fit
here,
in, meeting your expectations.
and the stereotypes is just out of this world. It's crazy. It's like, why do I have to do all this and I'm doing the same thing that you're doing? We're just on the same team, maybe having different parts of this project. What is the problem? Like, I don't understand. So I mean, navigating through all of that is hard, but just trying to use your resources, knowing your material is going to be number one,
Hmm.
because being a software engineer is not easy. Coding all day is not easy. All those things is not easy at all. Building things off of code and websites is not easy. It's not a 1 2 3 fix. You have to
It doesn't
study.
sound easy at all.
Yeah, you have to
So I
study. You
commend
have to,
you. I commend you
yeah.
for the work that you do because
Yeah, you
it
have to
doesn't sound
study.
easy.
You have to study. You have to put in work for the certifications that you have to get. And it's hard. It's hard. And that's just to navigate to get yourself in the door, to get an interview. You have to have
Wow.
certain requirements or certain experiences within your journey in order to be qualified before they even see how you look. And then when they see how you look, you probably have to go 10 times harder, being
I
black,
agree.
being a
I
woman,
agree. I do
and
agree.
then you have to emphasize what you're saying so that way they know you're serious and not playing. This is very real for you. This is your life is on the line. You need to support yourself or your family or whatever. And sometimes it don't always work out because of the color of your skin. I've had jobs where I almost got it, but it felt like I didn't get it because I was a woman
Yes.
and I was a black woman. So
Yes.
that's even a stereotype,
Yeah.
and it's just like,
Right.
what? Like, why is that? I know I meet the qualifications, and it's sometimes I'd be like, am I bugging? Let me go through the job requirements. Okay, I meet that, I meet that, I meet that, I meet that, I meet that. What transpired? My test was good that I had to send in. What happened? What was
Right.
the delay or the disconnection that I didn't see? So I just think all of that is just it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of
It's
issues.
a lot for us to carry, having to
Yeah,
prove ourselves time and time again.
yeah,
And then when you do, accomplish the goal, it's not recognizable um, to us. We're not being recognized properly for it. Um, so it does take us a lot. It takes a lot from us to be able to prove ourselves 10 times over for the same position.
right,
So
right,
I totally agree with you.
right.
Tank says a lot of them is self mediocrity because are the most they're the most in the workplace. They just hold positions. You're right. You're right. You're definitely right. When you outperform them, they find a way to undermine you. That's what I was just talking about. You can
Yeah,
never be your authentic self, rebalancing daily. And that
yeah,
is the whole thing. You have to rebalance. Like I said, when you come home, you're you're drained. So now
yeah,
you got to get ready for the next day. You got to
yep,
get ready for the next day and dread going
right,
in to do the
right,
same
right,
thing over again,
right, right.
repetitiously, get off from work,
Crazy,
drained again, and like you
right,
said, rebalance,
right, yeah.
rebalance.
And I'm
Sweet tea,
not
sweet.
see, I'm not even a mom. Imagine if I was a mom and had children at this time and had to struggle with all that. Like, it's just too much. Got to worry about what my child gonna eat. Got to make sure they get in bed and take a shower. Not like, and I just had a rough
Mhm,
day.
mhm,
It's sometimes it's been times when my mom has called me and I didn't even want to talk. I'm like, Mom, not today, girl. Maybe tomorrow I'll hit you up. Not today.
I
Today
have
was
been
rough.
there.
Today was rough, girl. Not today. I'm gonna hit you up in the morning. Like, hope you good. You
Being a
good?
mom
Okay, good.
with a corporate job is very, very stressful.
Yeah.
I know some of the women in here can chime in on that. Miss
Oh
Sweet
yeah.
Tea says tech is competitive as it is, then being
Yeah.
black and female to that is exhausting.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
it very much so.
Oh yeah.
Um, is it Kiara? I hope I'm saying that
Kiara.
right.
Kiara.
Kiara, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mentally being the only person that looks like you in any space is difficult. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of good points that the chat is giving, a lot of good stories. Just, it just adds up to what we're talking about um,
Yeah.
as far as women in the workplace.
Yeah.
But
I
black
did
women
want to
especially.
put out a point that I have been seeing as I've been like doing applications for like just bigger companies. I realized that I don't like the whole if they ask you like with your what your race is, like if you're black, white, and not like I don't like that on the
Oh,
application.
okay, okay.
Um,
I'm gonna give you one even better.
or even if
Um,
some of them ask about your sexuality now too, which is
yeah, they
crazy.
do, they do. But I'm gonna
I
give you
was
one even better. I was at work,
like, okay,
um, and my team and I were talking
hmm
about the day, the goals, where we are,
hmm
where what we want to get to, just having a short, brief meeting.
hmm
And so this one lady
okay,
that just was a Karen. Okay, I'm gonna say it like
okay,
that.
okay,
She walks up to us as we're, having this brief meeting,
mm.
and she says, "What are you?" I didn't pay it any attention because
What?
I was like, I know she's not talking to me because I'm in the midst of, talking to my team,
Right,
and she just comes over and says, "What are you?" So I'm like, okay, so I could see the top. And she said,
right,
"I asked you a question." And I turned around and I said, "Who are you speaking to? Because there's six of us over here." She
right,
says, "I'm asking you." And I said, "What do you mean? What am I?" I said, "I'm human.
right,
I'm a woman. Can
right.
you,
Duh.
like,
Can't you
right?"
see?
And so she says, "No, what are you?" Just like that. And I'm like, again, I have no clue what you're asking me. And so my team just looks like, "Are you serious right now?" And then, of course, they're like, "Oh my goodness, she is about to wake the beast up." But at the same time, I'm just keeping my composure in front of my team.
Right,
So one of my team members, she said, "What do you mean? What is she? She's a woman." Again, she said that. She said,
right,
"But no, I want to know what she is. Is she mixed? Is she Hispanic? Is she this? Is she that?" I said, "Wait a minute, you know." And this was on the floor. This was on the floor. And I said, "Okay, you know what? I'm about to go to my office so I can calm down for a second and just think about what just happened to me." Okay. So I'm in my
yeah,
office and I'm just like, did this just happen to me? It was
yeah.
just like the whole thought process, okay, did this just happen to me? You know, and I had to
Yeah,
really think about it. And
it's
so I
crazy.
did contact HR. Hey, Queen Mother, Wise Pearl, hello. Hello, come on in. I am DJ Drake, come on in, come on in.
Yeah,
Davis, Dennis, my family, come on in.
yeah,
Um, yes, it was just like, okay, what it blows you. You hear about it, but when it
right,
happens to you, and you have to decide, okay, am I going to keep my composure or do I want to just get choose violence? Okay,
right. Yeah,
um, because now you're testing me.
yeah, yeah,
So after the complaint was made,
Mhm.
I would say about a month later, she came by my office and said, "Can I come in and talk to you?" And I'm like, "Not with the door closed. You would never say I said this and I said that."
Right.
So I said,
Right.
"If you have anything to say, you can say it right there." You
Right.
know, and I had a witness because I'm like, "You're not going to say, oh, no." And
As
she
you
said, "I
should.
want
Yeah. As you
to
should.
apologize
Yeah.
for how I came to you."
Right. 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 Right.
And you know me, I'm just sitting here like, okay. You knew
Right.
that was wrong in
Right.
the first place. You just
Right.
didn't think I was going to do anything about it,
Right.
because you felt like you had seniority and you had, your feet in the foundation to where nothing
Yeah.
was going to happen to you.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
crossed the wrong one when it came to that.
Yeah. She really tried
And I'm
it.
like, even you asking my nationality, if I
Yeah.
choose not to answer you,
Yeah.
then don't push it.
Yeah. It
But
has nothing to do with it.
this is what so I completely understand when it comes to women, and definitely, you know women of color, us,
Mhm.
it's very hard. It's very
Yeah.
hard to maneuver and get past,
Yeah.
um and not lose your
Which is
whole
crazy.
entire being doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what I'm going to do is to do a little demographics, and then we're going to kind of like just go through some talking points, and you sharing, some gems, and just
Okay. Okay.
giving some advice.
Okay.
So it says, I'm reading from the same Harvard Business Review.
Mm.
Demographics continue to play a strong role in workplace mental health, with younger workers in historically underrepresented groups still struggling the most.
Mm-hmm.
Still struggling the most. So when you're talking about younger workers, we've always, kind of say this generation here,
Yeah.
anything that goes on in this generation here is
Yeah.
this big, to where in
Yeah.
my generation, young, or older generation, we kind of like shrug it off and keep it
Yeah.
moving. But the younger
Yeah.
generation now is like, if the slightest thing happens to them in the workplace, in life, or anything, they're ready to just give it up. Think about suicide. They don't want to live anymore. Um,
Yeah.
you know, how can we educate?
Mm-hmm.
Anxiety is a lot higher in this younger generation. Anxiety
Yeah.
is up here. Depression
Yeah.
is up here.
Yeah.
So working with the younger crowd is very, very challenging, because
Right.
one instance, they know it all. They know it all. You can't tell them anything. But as soon as something happens, they fall apart, and now is they're frazzled. They don't know what to do. They go into a state of depression.
Right.
Then they don't want to talk about it.
Right.
So, what advice do you have,
Mm-hmm.
for younger workers, such as yourself?
Yeah. Man, anxiety is it's a killer. I experience it. All my friends I think experience it too. They can speak for themselves in the chat, but I think, with all of us, it's crazy. I think my advice is just, of course, do not put everything on social media. Please don't. For the life of everyone in your family, your friends, don't do it, because social media can help, but it's also a dangerous thing. So that's number one. Number two, talk to somebody, say something, whether that's a friend, family, coworker, whatever it is, but whoever you feel comfortable with. And being honest with your emotions. Everybody cannot afford therapy in today's society, and everybody doesn't have medical coverage in order to have that copay. So I understand that, but if you have the ability to get a therapist, please get one. There's nothing wrong with it. Um, journaling, revert into your hobbies, whatever that is, and whatever that looks like, to kind of keep you afloat, because all my friends can tell you my hobbies mean everything to me, because I am the only child and I grew up as the only child. So I had to learn how to play by myself, do things by myself, how to do all, my day to day. And I guess I have my cousins, but they're not my siblings. So it was
Mhm.
very hard, So always think about what your hobbies are and reverting to that, making sure that you tap into those things as much as you can, that's really my advice. It's hard to talk. I know sometimes your emotions, not everybody has a comfort zone with people, and it could be scary to put yourself out there even with the closest people to you because of judgment or fear and just trauma. I get it, because I had those issues and I still kind of struggle with it sometimes. So I get it, but say something. It's rather than good to say something now than to not say something at all, because suffering in silence is a real thing. And that's not fun, because I've been through that, and yes, I might have had my friends, but I just didn't say anything, and it's just hard, so, affirmations, all those things is a small thing, but do it, and take yourself out. Self care it doesn't always have to be about money. You can take yourself to the park and be okay. If that makes you happy, then you do that. You make sure that's what makes your heart happy inside, because you can always, yes, you have people, you may have your family and stuff, and depend on those people, but don't depend on them so much where if they can't assist you, the world is ending, for you. So that's what I would say. All those points is very much important, and it's also too, I think my therapist also, she always tells me like it's okay not to be okay,
Absolutely.
because I think within the Black community, um you are so trained to say like I'm good even if you're not.
Yes. Yes.
And even for men and even for women, some people are scared to cry. It's not just a man thing. And some women struggle with it too, even though we're more emotional than men. But some women have a disconnection with that deep emotion of crying or letting those things out.
Right.
So yeah, it's hard. I understand it's hard. It's a difficult thing to go through. Your day to day of being exhausted and not getting rest, and your job, and maybe you got other obligations that you're tied to, whether that's another job or another hobby that has you to go to events every week or whatever. But it's okay to say no too. Don't wear yourself out,
Yeah.
and I think I've been through that too. Like, I'm exhausted, but hey, Tate's still gonna go to that event, or Tate's still gonna show up, and Tate's still gonna
Mhm.
do what she gotta do for this, even though I don't have to, but I'm gonna do it anyway because this is the commitment and I don't like to break no commitments.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
But it's
I
okay to say
mean,
no. I had to learn that. It's
it's
okay to
okay to
say
say
no.
no, and it's okay to say I'm not
No,
okay,
I'm not okay.
and
I
um
am over here smiling because
yeah,
you have just dropped the gems in everything, of course, that I teach, and
yeah,
you're
yeah, you always
executing
talk about
them.
it on your platform, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're executing it
yeah,
within, and
yeah,
I'm very proud of that.
thank you.
Um,
Yeah,
Wise Pearl, Queen Mother says the negative stigma of getting help has to stop. Getting help isn't a weakness; it's a strength, and that
mm,
is what I try to instill in others. It's a strength. It's not a weakness. You're
yeah,
actually being strong to get help.
yeah, yeah,
And thank you, DJ Harmonics. Welcome in. Thank you for the sub. And
Yeah.
Wise Pearl said, it's okay not to be okay. You
Yeah.
know, many
Yeah.
of us are taught at a young age, big girls don't cry and men don't cry.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so, okay, Des, you said don't avoid your emotions. You're still learning.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And even like my friend Kiara, she said it's okay. Like it's important to have coping skills,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy. She's actually like one of the people that told me that in schools and college, and I was like, because we were all trying to understand like how to work with this college thing, and
Right.
this is on campus, like maybe second year, and she's like, Tay, you gotta just show up for you sometimes, like it's okay, and now that we're out of school, we're about to be, she's 26 now, but I'm about to be 26. Like we're older now. It's like, okay, I, I'm gonna have my issues too. You gonna have your issues, but we got to find some balance in here.
Balance. Exactly.
And some of my friends are in school and in grad school, and some of them work and do both, and then some of them are going back to school soon. So it's just hard for us, all my friends, it's just difficult in this time because we're so emotional, but we are so vulnerable, but we don't know who to be vulnerable to. We're so
Part.
scared.
You have to
We're
gain
so
trust
scared.
in that vulnerability state.
Yeah,
Hello, family. Hello, Rose Camardi. Hello, family. How are you?
we're so
Welcome in.
we're so scared, and
Yeah.
it's hard. And even like what Miss Sweet Tea said, like strong friends cry. And I'm like one of those
Mhm,
strong friends that like I'm like,
mhm.
guys, it's okay. Like I'm here for you, but little old me, I gotta show up for myself too. Like,
Right,
like, oh
right.
guys,
That's
you're
why
gonna
it's good to
do
build
it.
a fortress. So when that person, like you said, when that person is not there, they can like lean on the number two person or the number three
Yeah,
person instead of you trying to carry that weight all by yourself because you
yeah,
still have to have time for you.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So
And
any last comments?
um I always say, I go by be yourself at any given time, no matter what that looks like. Stay true to yourself, within and without. Don't worry about what others say. Um, don't be in competition with your own, because that's not gonna make you win.
No, it's
That is
not.
not gonna make you go anywhere, So don't be in competition of yourself, of other people. Just, be your biggest friend and your biggest
Your biggest
cheerleader.
cheerleader. Yeah.
Rely on your friends as much as you can. Don't overpower and do so much to them, but take care of yourself and check on your friends, of course. I am sort of the not I'm kind of okay with checking on people sometimes. Like I have some friends like that I don't talk to every day, or like maybe a month or so, and then we'll hit each other up and we'll talk, and
Mhm.
we'll catch up, and some
Right.
of my most of my college friends are like that, and even like a couple of my other friends from back at home. But it's okay not to be okay, but get the help you need. Get the help you need.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
for sure.
Um,
So that's what I would say. But all be true to yourself is number one for me. Yeah, and I go after what you want. Nothing is unreachable to achieve. You can get there. You just got to do the work. So
you're one of the examples, and I'm very proud
yeah,
of you.
yeah, I
And
appreciate
I appreciate you coming on here sharing
yeah,
your journey and giving advice to others, especially the younger generation and where you are in your
yeah,
life as well.
yeah.
Um, I am going to
Appreciate
put you
you for having me.
backstage, so don't go anywhere because we have a surprise guest. So I truthfully thank you, and but I'm gonna put you backstage, so don't go anywhere.
Okay,
All right,
okay. Thanks so much.
you're welcome. So we learned, a lot about the workplace and, just the where we need to go and push to navigate for better mental health in the workplace. Um, Change journey at 26 years old and already being in the corporate world. As we already talked about, the younger generations is very hard for them to adjust to a lot of things, which, does affect them mentally. But I always say don't shut them down. We always want to be there for them. Um, and make sure that they get the help that they need and the resources so we won't have to say that we lost anyone else to mental health. You all know how passionate I feel about society issues and definitely mental wholeness. So as long as we continue this platform and continue to strive and push, we're going to make some changes. We're going to make some changes. I always say if we can save lives through our platform, then we've done our job. But it takes a team, it takes a village these days to help with that, to break this stigma, to break these generational cycles. It's going to take all of us. It really is, because you never know when you may be put in a situation to where you're going to need someone to be there for you in the moment to help you get through your mental, emotional, and spiritual challenge. So, dime dropper. So I appreciate everyone, but again, I have a very special guest that is about to come on the platform, and then we will decide where we're going to rate out. So just give me a moment.
Let's check one. Let's check two. Let's check three. My laser right, check one. My laser right, check two. My laser right, check three. I'ma see through you. I'ma see through me. Trinity eyes. One and two and three. Let me see my eyes. Let me see my lies. Beat feels so right. Let me swing my thighs. Hey, hey. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Yeah. My laser right, check one. My laser right, check two. My laser right, check three. Let my boy ride the beat from my.
Hey, DJ Matt Live, you did make it. You made it. Hello, hello. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, cuz. Hey, Carlesta. How are you? Come on in. So, everybody, this is my special guest right here. This is a moment with Mr. Cunningham. I know everybody has congratulated me on getting married and everything else. But tonight I decided to bring Mr. Cunningham on so he can speak to everyone. Yes, it is Matt Live. It is. This is the hubby. So I'm going to allow Mr. Cunningham to introduce himself.
Yes. Hey, hello, guys. I'm Demario. First of all, I would like to say thanks to y'all supporting my wife on her platform, which is a gateway for her light and her sharing her light. And I'm really proud of you, baby.
Thank you.
Yes. And happy Women's History Month, of course. Yes.
So you can see what he signed up for. This is a package deal. Right.
It is. I'm a little nervous, so y'all.
Yeah, bear with me.
Bear with me. But anyway, Um, yeah. So what else?
Okay, so you I know you said Happy Women's Month. What do you think Women's Month? What does Women's Month mean to you?
Far as
Just to you personally.
okay, yeah. Well, Women's Month means the significance of how far women have came. And I think that's an awareness that we need to look at it on that month, on this month, and
Absolutely.
how far y'all have came. Yes. First of
Definitely.
all.
Hush, 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 hush. Stop it. Oh yes, Mad Live. He definitely will come and talk with you.
Yes.
Definitely. He was listening when you were on. So definitely.
Great points. Last night, right?
No, it was last week.
Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hush, DJ Tank, be quiet. Leave Mrs. Sweet Tea. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So
And I need to thank them for
uh-huh.
congratulating us on our marriage. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, go ahead,
Best lady, really.
That y'all.
No, you're fine. Really? Stop it. Y'all stop it. Y'all making me laugh. Y'all are making me laugh. Stop it. So, what does creating this platform mean to you?
What does it mean to me?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think it's a gateway to our calling, what we have to offer. It's just a gateway, really.
Oh, he will be like doing some community projects. Hush, Mad Live. He will be doing some community projects as well, and also, joining in with me on some streams. Definitely when we do the relationship series, because our story is it's very deep. Goes back 20 years. So, um, yes, he will be joining me on some streams when it comes to that. Um, how has the platform helped you personally?
Yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot over the last 2 years. Watching you and your glowing, and but on top of that, it has definitely some of the great talking points that some of the guests has had. It has helped me tremendously. It really has, and that's
Good.
one of the ways that it has helped me.
So, any advice? Last word?
Advice. I would go back to like the guest earlier said. Sometimes you got to just put yourself first. Sometimes we get so complacent in just doing the same old thing, routines with jobs, company for companies. And if you can't put yourself first, you can't be there for your family or no one else.
It's true. That's very true. DJ Tank, really, Mr. Cunningham run away from church is the devil. He will only be on Twitch when we stream. He's not going to partake in that unless it's something that we're both listening to. So, thank you, best lady. Thank you. So I just wanted to bring Mr. Cunningham on because a lot of you all have supported me. You supported us. You've congratulated us, and I just wanted to share this moment for you all to meet him personally, virtually. He will be, attending some of the meetups that we have. And also being a very vital part of this platform. Um, you know, Giving me, some talking points and some thoughts, or topics to share as well. So I just wanted to bring him on before we decide to raid out again to formally introduce.
I enjoyed
Thank
the
you.
show tonight as
Oh,
well.
well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes.
So,
Thank y'all.
good morning. Good morning. Lord, I'm tired. Hey, Dr. Daddy.
You be on here in the morning.
I
So.
do. Right? I do. Jeez.
Probably all runs together.
It does. You know it does. You know it does. You know, you'd be
Yeah.
like, why are you up so early?
On Twitch.
On Twitch, right? Mad Live, thank you. Oh, you are so welcome. You know what? I'm very proud of you. It's like I said yesterday on Director Jackson's stream, just to see the men starting to do men's mental health or men's health and collaborating together, it makes my heart happy. And man, live, I am very happy that you have executed and you're moving forward and you're growing in it. You know, I am very, very proud of you. Dr. Dady, you've been listening for a while. Thank you. You two have happy energy. That is amazing. Thank you. David says, nice to meet you, Mr. Cunningham. Come to my streams. Yes. Only that. I'm going to try to help him navigate to some of the good streams. So, the Mrs. Sweet Tea, where are we going? Oh, you know how I am. You know how I am. DJ Man Live, you absolutely know. So we please can somebody put the raid message up? Please, please, please. Pretty please. Look, I'm trying to get my phone right. Why is it? Oh, there it goes. So where are we going?
Salute, fam. Yeah, and yes, I'm very chill.
Very, like very chill. Very chill. Very. Yeah. So where are we going? Oh, DJ Neek is doing something. Or we want to go there? Where are we going?
Back to Kelly.
Back to Kelly. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Can somebody put something in the chat? Oh, Neek is on. Okay, that's where we're going. That's where we're going. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Molly. Get on the train. So ride it. Get on the train. Yes, like mine. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Can all of us go over there and show Nick some love?
Thank y'all for all the love. Thank y'all.
Can we go? Thank you, Brown Eyes. Thank you to all my mods. Do I need to call them out while we're right now? Everybody get on this train. Come on, ride the train. So ride it. Come on, everybody. I only see 17. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go support Nick. We about to go hear some music. Jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. Okay, so while we're going, shout out to my mods, Lex Diamonds, Demons Sweet Tea, Miss Siobhan, Christian Levin, Joy Lex, DJ Molly Party, Roz Brooklyn, Jen Fire, DJ BB Joy, Fran, M. Claudia, DJ Tank, Sincere, and OE. And shout out to my technical director and graphics, the Silent Professor. I think I got that all in. I think I did. Yes, acknowledgement in the workplace is important. You're right. Definitely. Come on. It's like 30 of us in here. Why is only 17 going over? Come on. Everybody. All right, y'all. Are we back over there? Are we going? Going. Going. Yay! Good night.
I love the comments.